Okay, we said when you're solving an inequality, there's one of two things that can happen. The first thing is your variable's still there. So you go through all the solving steps and you end up with a variable greater than or less than a number sitting on the other side. So that's one thing that can happen. Get a variable greater than or less than a number. So you get something like x is greater than 3 or x is less than or equal to -5. Okay, variable on one side, number on the other side. So that is what we've been working with all along. That would be a regular solution that we could just put on a number line. So a regular solution, you can graph it on a number line.
Can you zoom in a little bit, please?
Regular solution that you can graph. Where things get interesting, and it's really this side, better, that we need to deal with, is I'm going along and I'm solving and my variables completely cancel and now I have no variables left. That's where things get a little bit tricky. That would be kind of the other thing that can happen when you're solving. Your variables completely cancel. So they are gone, none left. So this would be kind of like number 1 or number 3 on your warm-up that you just did. If they cancel, then we have to look at whether or not what we're left with works. So it's an inequality. So it's either going to be a correct inequality or an incorrect inequality. One of the two things has to happen. Either it works or it doesn't work. So it has to either be a true statement or a false statement if you actually look at what it's saying. So you either get a true statement or a false statement. And we said based on what happens, that tells us what's going on with the answer. If we get a true statement, what does that mean about possible answers? Yeah, could be anything, which means what's our vocabulary for that? All real numbers, right. So could be anything, all real numbers. And you guys told me a minute ago that the graph for that would just look like a double arrow that goes forever both ways. If I get a false statement, what does that mean?
That has to not, no solution.
Yeah, no solution. There's nothing that will make it work. There's something about the inequality that's backwards and making a false statement. So no matter what I do, it's not going to work. So if that happens, then you would say no solution because there's nothing that will make it work. And your number line, you guys told me a minute ago, would just be a blank number line, right? Because I don't have any answers to put on it. Blank, nothing there. So this is kind of a quick little mapped out summary of the different things that we've been coming up with for inequalities, especially last week. It'll give you kind of a good reminder. So if you're solving and you're like, wait, what just happened? My variables went away. You'll have a reminder of kind of what happens and what to do if that happens to you.